wonderful dinner. I'm honored today to introduce our next speaker to you, Dr. Joseph Gebeily. It is an honor for me to... I'm honored to be presenting Dr. Gebeily to you all because not only have I worked with Joseph in the past few years, but he and his family have been like family to me. Joseph is a physician and father of 2 children and a very dedicated worker towards the freedom of Lebanon and the return of its democracy. He is the president of the Lebanese Information Center, He is president of the American Lebanese Coalition, and he is the chairman of this convention. Dr. Gebeily, together with a handful of individuals, were instrumental in putting together this phenomenal event. He has worked for the past 25 years, as I mentioned earlier, towards the return of democracy in Lebanon, and is a staunch believer in sovereignty. I am very honored right now to present to you Dr. Joseph Gebeily, chairman of this convention.
Good evening. Let me welcome the official among us now. Mr. Joseph Bosco from the Department of Defense, Assistant to the Deputy Secretary for Voice on the Secretary for Policy Douglas 5. Patricia McNerney, representing the Department of State, Senior Advisor from the Secretary for Arms Control and International Security, John Bolton. Mr. Peter Grumman, Deputy Political Counselor from the U.S. Mission and the United Nations. Mr. Walid Malou, Director of Public Diplomacy and Middle East Affairs. And we have with us Mr. Mark Dawson, Legislative Director of the Office of Congressman Andrew Hall. Distinguished guests, members of the media, members of institutes and academia, my friends, leaders of the Lebanese and Middle Eastern American organizations, members of the audience coming from all over the United States, ladies and gentlemen. It's a magnificent opportunity for me to stand here today in front of all these diverse groups. Groups of many ethnicities: Arab, Aramaic, Assyrian, Berber, Chaldean, Kurd, and Persian. And of different religions: the Christians, Copts, Maronites, Melkites, Syrians, and Muslims, Druze, Shiites, Sunni, and from various countries of origin: Egypt, Iraq, Iran, Libya, Saudi Arabia, Sudan, Syria, Yemen, and of course, Lebanon. So, why are we gathered here tonight? First of all, to affirm our attachment to our roots. The Middle East, the cradle of civilizations, the birthplace of great religions, the bridge between the East and the West. Second, to proclaim our firm beliefs in the ideals of freedom, democracy, religious tolerance, and the respect of human rights. Third, to relay the feelings of the majority of Middle Eastern Americans who staunchly support our great nation, the United States of America, in its effort to fight terrorism and to bring in democracy to the Middle East nations. For decades, minorities and various people in the Middle East, from all ethnic and religious sects, who aspire to a democratic way of life, have been brutally crushed by dictators. The Middle East has been transformed into a land of oppression and misery. We were the lucky ones. We were lucky because at one time, someone in the line of our ancestors, or our parents, or ourselves, decided that a person's ability to deal with dictators, with extremism, ethnic or religious persecution has its limits. And somewhere along the road, the American dream became irresistible. To many, the American dream has become a reality. To all, this great country has offered what almost every Middle Eastern country deprived its citizen of: freedom and a fair chance. That freedom, my friends, and the democratic principles that gave us a fair chance in this country, this way of life, which we have cherished, this way of life that we value so much after experiencing its opposite in the land of our ancestors, is what the terrorists attacked on 9/11. On that dreadful morning, those of us with Middle Eastern blood felt the agony in multiple forms. We wept for the wounds inflicted on our beloved America. We felt resolved to fight back this coward of an enemy. But there was more. There was an additional suffering for recognizing that this is an enemy that we faced before, the same enemy that hijacked our freedom and ruined our life. The same enemy that was harbored by Middle Eastern dictators who thrived on the blood of our parents, brothers and sisters and prospered on the ruins of our homes. Extremism and totalitarianism fueled by these dictatorships have swept the Middle East, transforming its cultures and sending those who opposed it to death, to prison or to exile. One example is what happened in Lebanon. Lebanon became the first democracy in the Middle East in 1926. Its political system was modeled after European-style democracy. Lebanon had the first parliament in the region, and soon Lebanon became a haven for free speech, free thought, a place on converging cultures and civilizations. But today, Lebanon has changed. Syria, a military dictatorship, gained total dominance over our country of origin and is transforming Lebanon into a totalitarian satellite regime. Syria forged an alliance with Iran, nurtured Hezbollah and other radical militias to maintain a state of terror and instability on the Lebanese land. Syria now controls Lebanon's national decision and intervenes in all forms of Lebanese daily life, whether social, financial, political, or any other. Consequently, the essence of Lebanon's traditional role is changing. Lebanon's particular mission and tradition of interreligious dialogue, openness, harmony, and cooperation is being replaced by a culture of violence, of intolerance, and fanaticism. The same culture that is infecting the whole Middle East and is radiating hatred and abomination, the same cultures that threaten